Hey, what up, everybody? This is J-Tom Gunter, owner of Grapes and Sound Publishing and author of Fruit and Glass, Wines, Cliff Notes, and also Voice of Truth. We have something special going on today. I have my homeboy, Scott Hairston, out of Scout Cellar here. Wave and let them know that you're here.
Hello, everybody.
We're going to be doing a little bit of, like a little special, I guess, video for you guys today. A while ago, I was introduced to Scott Hairston. He was on my show, Wine Tasting with Giants, and while on the show, we got a chance to talk about the company that he represents, Scout Cellar, and we had such a good time. And I had one of the wines that I featured, one of their Syrahs I featured on that video. We wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper with the company. We wanted to taste a couple of glasses. I'll drink one on my side, one on his side, and we'll break them down each. Due to COVID, the cool thing about COVID, the one little silver lining of COVID is I've gotten a chance to just meet people on the internet and keep in contact. And that was basically what was happening last week. We just kind of got on a call just to catch up and see how everybody was doing. And this idea just kind of stemmed from there. I mean, I love doing reviews on wine, and I actually really enjoy their wine. So I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and taste a couple side by side and see where this goes. And so that's what we're doing. Go ahead and let them know a little bit about Scout Cellar before we get into it, if they didn't get a chance to check it out on my last video.
Okay, Scout Cellar was founded by Sarah Shadinix. She's an ex-lawyer turned sommelier. And so during her times that she started studying to be a sommelier, she had to taste a lot of wines in her region. And unfortunately, she had some nasty side effects with the wines that she was drinking. And because of that, she looked into why that was happening. And so unfortunately, there's a lot of wines out there, mass-produced wines that have a lot of additives in their wines that cause people to have these side effects. So she wanted to be a part of the change in the wine industry. So she sought wineries and vineyards that didn't put any pesticides during their harvest, and they're additive free and no added sugars, no additives. And so she created her wine business in 2017. She reached out to her closest friends that knew they loved wine, and she had a vision. She said, hey, I want to make an impact in the wine industry, and I want to deal with those small farmers who've been farming the same way for years, doing the old school way. And so I researched the company, and long story short, I was a customer first and decided to log on to the website, do some research, and sign up as a consultant because I believe in the company, what they're trying to do. They're doing the right thing. Yes.
More traditional style of farming and stuff like that, right?
It's more traditional biodynamic farming, just basically supporting those small farmers that refuse to put anything onto their product to change it. It's all natural, and that's something that I can support. And for me as a former athlete, I mean, I was used to trying to take care of my body and eat as good as I can. And as I aged, I turned 40 a few months ago. I want to continue to treat my body well. I want to age. I'm very active, and this wine that I come across is a small change that would lead to big results. So hats off to those small farmers out there that are doing it the right way.
For real, man. It's got to be kind of cool right now too, because everybody's at home, and now with the second lockdown, everybody's at home, and so people still want to drink wine. This is probably a great way to get into the wine industry if you're not in it, or if you love wine, to be able to purchase some for yourself. It sounds like a really, really cool concept, especially with the farming things. I'm really into. I love natural wine, but I drink all types of wine. Natural wine, the idea of sustainable and clean wine works for me now because I'm getting more and more I'm getting more active. I went through a period where I was just eating all kinds of crazy food and stuff. And then again, you get around 40 and you're like, you know what? Your body starts talking to you okay, you need to change some things. So natural wine, I do notice a difference when I'm drinking that as opposed to, the other stuff. I still drink that other stuff, but I notice a difference when I'm drinking a little bit more cleaner wine. And so I do enjoy it. I actually pay attention to it way more now than I did before, which is cool. And which is why I kind of was curious about doing this and wanted to do this and us like coming together and just tasting some wine and having a good time on a nice little day. So anyway,
right. Yeah.
With that being said, go ahead.
That's a good point because again, as we age, I mean, the stuff that we put in our bodies and the things that we do throughout the day is going to impact the following day. So the wines that I drank beforehand had a lot of additives and added sugars. So when I got up in the morning, I didn't feel too productive. And I said, hey, once I found out about this wine, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna see how I feel. Mm-hmm. And as time went by, I'm like, man, I can really, really tell the difference between natural wine and unnatural wine. And that was very impactful for me. I mean, we all live our lives in a certain way that, we want to stay active, whether we're eating clean or trying to drink clean. We want to do the best we can to age well and to be as active as possible. So this gives me another way to be active. I'm in the gym probably 3-4 times a week. I play a lot of golf. The wine that I'm drinking now, I know that I can have a bottle of wine and the next day wake up feeling good. So I can dig that. And I can roll that way.
It's funny how it changes, right? Like I remember when I was in my 20s, right? We all go out, we're partying, clubbing, whatever we're doing, and you're taking all these sugary shots and like drinks and cocktails and stuff, and then we're like low hanging fruit type of alcohol, like not really good whiskey or good scotch or good like whatever. Good vodka, good gin, and then you wake up the next morning and you're actually not that bad. You don't feel so bad. You try that now. You're like the next day. You're like, I ain't doing nothing today. I'm staying in bed.
Right. It's not the same. We can't fool ourselves. We can't act like we're 22 anymore.
That's real.
And it is real. And the people that approached me about this wine, I say, well, you got to see for yourself because I mean, you could appreciate it a lot different than me. I mean, I just think for the simple fact of people that may have had adverse side effects. I've heard of people getting rashes from wine.
It happens. My lady does.
Yes. So that right there is really something that speaks to people because a good friend of mine, she turned consultant because she had to stop drinking wine for 3 years because she had to get her hives under control. Oof. And she loved wine, but couldn't drink the wine that she was buying at the store. She found out about clean wine, and man, she's loving it. She loves it so much that she can't stop talking about it. So there's plenty of stories out there. I have my own story, and I'm sure if you run into another consultant, hey, why did you join Scout Cellar? What motivated you to do this as a side business or your main business? And then they'll tell you their story, and it just speaks to people. So I'm happy to share my story. I'm happy to share this wine. It's impacted my life. It's impacted a lot of the friends who've become my customers and some who have joined my team. We're having the best time talking about.
It's cool because the barrier of entry into what you guys are doing is easy. You just kind of have to be passionate and want to and be like not even a salesperson, but like enjoy what you're selling. You know what I mean? Because that kind of passion comes off when you're talking to people about it. Even with you, like you seem like very mild mannered. Like every time I've talked to you, you've been very mild mannered, chill. But like you do light up when you start talking about Scout Cellar. Like you can tell that you're very passionate about what you're doing and stuff like that. I mean, I would even venture to say that you probably you're cool like when hanging out in a group, but you're not the one that's like jumping in and like stirring it up. You're kind of the one that's kind of sitting in the background and chill. But when you start talking about Scout Cellar, man, you light up, and that's a good thing.
Right. And it's genuine because I talk to my friends and they know me. They know that I'm not gonna push something on them. I'm not a salesy type person. I'm just speaking of my experience, and I want people to experience what I'm experiencing. It's just I think a part of me that I've always thought that was important. Hey, if you know something's going to help somebody, You should tell them whether they want to hear it or not. Maybe one day they'll yeah, you know what, I'll try that. But if you don't let them know, then how are they going to know? They'll find out from somebody else. But it's all about awareness to me, because I'll tell you what, Jay-Ton, like, I had no idea what was in the wines that I was drinking beforehand. I thought all wine was made the same. I thought I had an idea. I knew the vineyards, the farmers, they would spray pesticides on their vineyards. I knew that to keep the bugs out and all that. But I didn't know all the other stuff that they put in wine. I had no idea. Once I found that out, I was almost kind of like misled. I was like, how are they allowed to do that? And then again, my neighbor was the one that introduced me to Scout Cellar. And he told me, he's like, yeah, well, that's why we're doing what we're doing, because we're supporting the vineyards that don't do that. The vineyards that are just all natural. And I said, well, hey, I can support that. And he said, here's a bottle, try for yourself. And then I tried it. Next day I felt fine and became his customer. And then 5 months later, I decided just one night, say, you know what? Let me get into this. This seems like this will be a fun lifestyle. And I was right. I mean, nobody asked me to do it. Nobody was emailing me or texting me, hey, join my team, all this stuff. I went on and did it myself. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
But like, those are the best ways to get in, right? But the thing is, like, I know a lot of people in the wine industry, some of them, not all of them. Some of them think this whole thing is gimmicky, think the natural thing is gimmicky. I'm telling you right now, you guys, some of y'all know me, and you know I don't play around with my wine. I'm very serious about my wine. This is not a gimmick. This wine is really, really good. I would not be even having Scott on the platform if it wasn't amazing. This wine is really, really good. After that first Syrah I had, I was already like, okay, this is it. I dig this stuff. So let's get into the wine, because we did come here to taste a little bit of wine. Let's get right into it. I'm tasting a Malbec. I'm tasting the Nest 2019 out of Sonoma Valley Malbec. Hope you guys can see it. I'm gonna hold it there for a second so y'all can see Nest, and you can find this on Scout Cellar. If you want to purchase the bottle after I'm done with this, just go to, I'm going to plug Scott's link, and you can just click on his link. If you're on Instagram, just click on the link in his bio, and you can get right to, buying wine from him, or buying wine from Scout Cellar. But let's get right into it. I wish you guys could see this color. This color is like purple, like little crimson on the inside, but it gets more purple and purple to the rim, probably because it's so young. I normally don't do sight, but I'm very much taken in by this color. It's really, really beautiful velvet purple on the outside. Let's get into the nose. So I get wild berries, I get blueberries, I get blackberries. So it's like black and blue fruit going on here. There's a little sage coming up too. And I'm also getting this like violet, like blue, like floral thing jumping out of the glass of me that I'm digging. It already lets me know when I start smelling flowers with Malbec, I start thinking it may be a little bit medium body as opposed to full body, which I like if it's balanced. So this is a very focused nose, and it's not suppressed at all. Everything's jumping out of the glass at me. I'm really interested to taste it. It kind of has this cool, I don't know if you guys remember, what were they called? Nerds, the purple nerds back in the day. This reminds me of that on the nose. Like it has that kind of aroma jumping out of the glass on me. By the way, some of the tech information on this is done in stainless steel and then also done in neutral oak. So it's not going to have a lot of, if you know anything about oak, you're not going to get a lot of oak aromas jumping out the glass at you because it's in neutral. It's not going to affect the wine hardly at all. So there's also like a little bit of a black licorice thing going on. Let's go ahead and taste it and see what's going on the palate. You got a winner here. This is really, really good. This has great grip. Great grip. There's like a little olive thing that I was missing too. Kind of like a black olive on the finish that I didn't catch originally, but it definitely has that fruit. So all that stuff I was talking about originally on the aroma, on the nose, it's definitely translating to the palate. I get a lot of that wild blueberries and blackberries up front and going to the middle. You get a little bit of that more floral aspect that I was talking about, a little bit more violets kicking in the third quarter to the finish. And then you have that little kick of olive. So everything staying together is just very seamless on the palate. And it's young, which is kind of crazy. And going back to what I was saying before about it being a medium-bodied wine, this is definitely a medium-bodied wine. So it's delicate, it's light on its feet, but it's focused. It's like very, very focused with the fruit and the flowers. I dig this wine quite a bit. I really want some barbecue with it, to be honest with you. If I had some ribs, no, you shouldn't be eating ribs. If I had some ribs, barbecue ribs, lathered with barbecue sauce, this would kill. Even it's a good pizza wine too. If you're doing like something with like red tomato sauce, I think this would go really well with that. I am in love with this wine. And for people that I know that love balance, this is balanced like crazy. The tannins are medium, the acid's a medium plus, so you're getting a little bit more acid on this Malbec, and it's balanced out by that focused fruit. So I dig this quite a bit. I recommend this wine. And I dig it. Cheers, man. This is outstanding from Scout Cellar.
Hey, cheers. That Malbec is awesome. I mean, all the Malbecs that I've had, I mean, it's hard to go wrong. I've told you before, that's my favorite varietal.
Yeah.
I love this just, it's one of those wines that I feel that you can drink at any time of the day. You don't necessarily really have to pair it with anything. I just think it just, to my palate, it speaks to me. That's the Malbecs are the first I recommend when people ask me, hey, I want to try some of your wines. Well, you got to try our Malbecs. They're probably the best you'll ever have. But I am not surprised, Jayton, that you love that, because I think with the first time we spoke, that's I think the Viente Malbec was the one that I said first for you to try, and then you tried that. That's the fun thing about being in the wine industry and following you and what you're up to in your book. I read your book, and
thank you.
Just all the things that come with tasting a bottle of wine, taste for the first time. You have kind of like a story, and you have all the things that you have brought out in what you tasted. I'm learning about and paying more attention about whenever I taste wine. So I was very intrigued by the way you broke that down and your knowledge on wine and just the tasting notes. It just blows me away and how your palate is so, your brain's firing at a high percentage, I guess. But
it's just because we practice, man. Like I just taste a lot of wine, or I drink a lot of wine. Taste, drink, you know, one of them.
Right. So yeah, it's funny. The timing was perfect because I believe when I first joined Scout Cellar, and then like 2 weeks later, I came across you on LinkedIn and then on Instagram, and I started following you, and I started seeing your videos, and I'm like, man, I want to be like that one day. I want to be able to taste the wine and taste all the notes and being able to break it down. And I want to talk to that guy someday about wine. And it's great. It's been fun. And to tell people about your book. And it's a very interesting book. I like how you intertwine all the regions of, I mean, Italy, France, I mean, you name it, Chile, Argentina, and of the States, of course, but and you intertwined how you started and why you got into wine and your experience as a sommelier. So cheers to you. Right now, I'm going to talk about what I'm drinking. It's the Ethnico Sauvignon Blanc. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Turn it to the right a little bit. A little bit better. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I can see it now.
Okay. All right. So this one right here, the reason why I opened this one up today is I've gotten into white wines only when I started with Scout Cellar. Beforehand, I just felt like it was too sweet for me. It gave me headaches, strong headaches, probably because of the sugar content. And I just wasn't interested at all. So once I started with Scout Cellar, I said, you know what, it'd be a good idea to branch out a little bit, just so I can have that knowledge. And maybe if one of my friends says, hey, you got any good white wines? I didn't want to be that person like, let me ask somebody. I wanted to taste all the wines that we have. I'm a part of Scout Circle. That's a wine club. So I get 6 bottles a month, 3 red, 3 white. So I get to taste a lot of our wines. And this Ednico just came out. And this has been the buzz in Scout Cellar for the last 3 weeks. People have been raving about it. So I said, hey, let me try this out. And so I printed out the tasting card, which is kind of cool. You go on the website, you can see that. So a beginner like me can read where it's from, the tasting notes, what to pair it with, just kind of guide me through it. And it's wine education. So it says earthy, crisp, green apple, lemon curd, chalk. Pairs well with light seafood dishes and soft cheeses. For me, I can taste the lemon curd, no doubt. That's right off the bat. But then it takes me a while to get to that green apple. And the green apple, that's kind of like a bitter but sweet taste, and I can taste that definitely for sure. It is crisp, and I think it's something that I can picture myself opening up on an afternoon, like a summer's day. I found myself enjoying white wine a lot better in the summertime.
So it's probably got quite a bit of acid on it. A lot of times with those Sauvignon Blancs, when they have high acid, you want to have those on a hot day because it's so much acid, it gives you a little bit of pucker, and you want to keep on drinking or eating something. You know, every time your mouth is salivating, you want to eat or drink something. And so it's probably got high acid. If it's making you feel like a summer day being out there with the glass, that's definitely probably got a little bit of acid for you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I taste. And so I did not know this. It says Sauvignon Blanc is believed to have originated in France. The varietal was brought to Chile at some point in the 19th century. So again, I had no idea about this stuff. I thought every wine, the grapes or the vines weren't ever transferred. I thought it's the region. So there's a lot more to it. It's a history. Yeah, it's fun. And so the way that they age the wine too, here's a little bit about it. It says after harvest, the grapes were crushed, pressed, clarified, and placed in stainless steel to ferment for a month. Then the wine was aged in stainless steel for 7 months until bottling, unfined and lightly filtered. So, yeah, it's interesting. Another thing I learned too, red wine is red because of the skins. When they ferment the wine, they keep the skins in the barrels. Or during the fermentation.
Aging on the skins,
It's aged, and then for white wine, the skins are taken out.
Exactly, because you don't want pigment problems and you don't want tannin sometimes. The Italians are a little different because some of those white wines, they will have a little bit of skin contact there, so you'll get a little bit of tannin with Italian wines, but for the most part, outside of Italy, for the most part, this changes depending on who you are. If you're a crazy winemaker, because winemakers are crazy, which I love that about them, but they're crazy. Some of them will be like, I want tannin, so they will keep the skins on. But for the most part, outside of Italy, you normally would remove the skins for a white wine. It's kind of cool though, because if you're like looking at Pinot Noir, right, and out of Champagne, and people, I've seen them do this before. Like, I thought Pinot Noir is red. It's a red grape, but because they're taking the skins off, in a Champagne and maybe 100% Pinot Noir, it's going to come up as like a white wine because they remove the skins early, and they use Pinot Noir as either a solo grape in Champagne or blending with Chardonnay and Pinot Meunier. So that just kind of lets you know that even red wine sometimes can be considered white wine depending on the style of winemaking and things like that. It's really cool, man. Like Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is one of my favorite varietals, and people there's so much history behind the grape. It moved around, like it's moved all over the place now. Now you can get Sauvignon Blanc in Australia, Of course, Sancerre, France, Sauvignon Blanc in Italy. There's a lot in California, and different pockets make it different ways, different like regions, because there's a lot of microclimates in California. But being honest with you, in the last 4 years, you said that wine is that wine from Chile?
Yes.
So in the last 4 years, I've realized where my palate is shifted to with Sauvignon Blanc. I still love Sancerre. It's probably the top dog to me. I like New Zealand. It's bombastic with how expressive it is, but some of them are making them a little bit more leaner, a little bit more my style. But I will be honest with you, Chilean Sauvignon Blanc has been like taking my heart. Like the minerality, the complexity with that grape out, the way the grape is grown out there, I dig it. So I can't wait. I'm gonna try this wine one of these. I'm gonna try that Sauvignon Blanc when I get a chance, man, because now I'm really curious about it from the tech notes and stuff like that. I love Sauvignon Blanc, and if you're looking for a value play with great Sauvignon Blanc, look to Chile. Everybody, just do it. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed with it. So.
Yeah, this one's great. This opens up really well. I mean, every sip I taste is better and better. And I think that for me, that is the value of the wine. I mean, again, this is probably my 4th or 5th different Sauv Blanc that I've had. Mm-hmm. And I think this one's the best one. I can see what all the rave is about now. Because for me, it's kind of like when I hear, oh man, it's great. It's the best I ever had. Well, yeah, it helps you kind of be curious to try it. But then you go, okay, well, I want to see if this is better than the previous one. And I'm sure you've dealt with the same thing. You've had people say, Jay Tom, you got to try this.
Yeah.
And then every palate's different. Different. Okay, you might like it more than this one. Okay, let me try it. But Jay Tom, I think you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one.
I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to check it out. Hey, do me a favor and let everybody know if they want to be part of Scout Cellar family. Like, what are the steps to do that? And let them know where they can find you at online.
Okay. Yeah, just go to my Instagram, Scott Hairston 12. You can follow me there. I have the link there. You can click on the link and then do your research. And then if you'd like to join my team, you can sign up on the website, or you can reach out to me, send me a message on Instagram, DM, or on LinkedIn, Scott Hairston, look me up. I have my website on there. Click on that. But no, I invite everybody that is interested to learn more about wine, and wine education, and supporting the farmers out there that are doing the right thing. I think that's why I really joined this brand or this company. They're doing the right thing in the wine industry, and it took a lot of courage for Sarah to just start her own thing, and those farmers out there, those old school farmers that are doing things the right way. And I just think for me as a person, I want to support that. And I really, really think that there's people out there that would really, really enjoy this company if they just take the time to research it and learn what the company is all about, and to try the wine themselves. I mean,
yes,
it's more than that. It's more than just joining the company. It's enjoying the wine, having the experience. There's Scout School. I've been to Scout School twice. You go online, you sign up. It's just like a learning program through Scout Cellar. It talks about the winemaking process. It talks about just various things that you'd like to know about the fermenting process, how the company originated, and where we go from here, and the importance of staying genuine and doing the right thing, not only as a company, but just as an individual. They want people to join Scout Cellar for the right reasons. Just basically spread. The company has this motto of spread the unknown good. So the unknown good is there's a lot of additives in wines out there. 98% of wines in the world have a lot of additives in it. There's only 2% of wines in the world that are natural wine, that don't have any additives in it. So Scout Cellar sources wines from those vineyards around the world, that 2% that are doing the right thing and farming all natural, biodynamic, and lab tested twice before bottle. That's a huge one too. That's what really piqued my interest. Scout Cellar will not bottle a wine if it doesn't meet their criteria. So
I like that.
That's important. I like it. Every time I open a bottle, I know it's trusted and it's been through testing and it's clean. So I can dig that. I can support that. I can stand behind that. And I know I'm doing my part as for my body, and I'm doing my part sharing what I've known and what I found out through research, my experience, and I just share it to those who want to make that change as well.
That's awesome, man. Yo, I want to thank you again for doing this with me. I always enjoy having a conversation with you about wine and, about everything, actually. I feel like with what's going on, what's been going on in the world, I've gotten really cool with people that I normally probably would have never even met before. But I have the time now to be able to sit down and meet cool people like you that are in the industry, whether whether it's brand new in the industry or people who've been there forever, just having conversations and checking in with each other. I appreciate you reaching out to me every once in a while to see what's going on, and me doing the same thing. It's been fun, man. It's been fun. And I want to toast to you, toast to Scout Cellar. Cheers.
Cheers.
And till next time, guys, check him out. I'm telling you, you will not be upset with that. The wines are great. So anyway, cheers, guys.